In 1984, the Twins were having an awful season. The action sometimes got so slow out on the field that some of the fans were folding up their programs into paper airplanes and tossing them down onto the field. Well, it got to be a regular kind of thing where there were so many paper airplanes throwing out on the field that the Twins decided that they'd make the best of it, and they invented something called the Great Paper Airplane Toss. And of course, you couldn't just throw anything out on the field. You had to buy a blank, an official entry blank, and fill it out with your name. But anyway, what they do is they set a Mercedes out at second base, and if you threw that paper airplane and it went through the sunroof, you won the car. Well, of course, when the game ended and they announced the toss to begin, it was just a cascade of paper airplanes coming out of these stands down the bleachers. It looked like a waterfall. There were so many of them. And they were all going about 10 feet. So you could see, maybe 10 paper airplanes that actually made it out on the field. This was looking to me like a real ripoff. And I got this idea in my head, and I couldn't shake it. I had to do it. So what I did is I took the one last paper airplane I had, and I ran out into the field, and I slam dunked that puppy right into the top of that sunroof on that Mercedes. And as I ran around the corner, I looked up, and there were 20,000 people cheering me. It was just great. I loved it. And I could see over in the corner some cops and some security officials walking towards me, and I ran up to him, and I said, "Pretty funny, huh?" And he said, "Yeah, if you're 19, it's funny." I was 37 at the time. 2 weeks later, I ended up in court with a lawyer in front of the judge. And he looked me up and down, and then he looked through the file, and he looked at me again, and he said, "Did you get to keep the car?"